Welcome back. Right now, we are going to talk about travel. Many of us are traveling this summer and are anxious to get back to it, to go on vacations, visit relatives, and much more. Well, I recently spoke with Skyscanner all about what you need to know right now if you're traveling. Here's more.
The travel bug is back, and we are all getting ready to travel in earnest this upcoming holiday weekend and over the summer, according to Skyscanner, with bookings increasing over 1/3 in the last 2 months. Joining us to discuss is global travel expert for Skyscanner, Stephanie Boyle. Thanks for being here, Stephanie.
Thanks so much. It's a pleasure to be here, Christine.
So where is everyone going this summer, and what are the most popular travel destinations right now?
That's a good question. And we're just excited to see people getting back onto Skyscanner and searching again and really getting interested and turning those searches into real bookings, which is wonderful. So a lot of travelers are looking close to home. They're staying within the US. And we're seeing travelers looking at New York, LA, Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Denver. But then we're also seeing people getting ready to sort of dream and plan. Over the last 4 to 5 months, we've seen travelers from Salt Lake City looking at New York, yes, but also Paris, London, and Cancun. So really starting to plan for the future travel that they want to do.
What are the pricing trends and hacks to get a great deal on our next trip?
Good question. Price is always an important part of planning any travel. So the important thing to know is that actually right now you can get some great deals out there. Airlines and travel providers are keen to encourage us to get back out into the skies and out traveling around the world. So there are some really good value bargains. And one of the most important things is to remain flexible. So if you're flexible with your dates, you can actually find a great option. For example, on Skyscanner, you can look at the whole month view, which means that you might find a cheaper flight earlier in the month or perhaps later in the month than you might have expected. You can also set a price alert, which basically allows you to track a flight and see whether or not the price for that flight goes up or down over time. And when it goes down, you can then book it when it's at its cheapest, so you feel like you're getting the best deal. The important thing is to look at whether or not you can book a flexible fare, which just means that if you do have to change your dates later on or if you have to cancel anything, then you can make sure that you're not going to incur any additional penalty charges.
Is there a best time to book or a best time to travel to certain destinations to get the best value?
That's a really good question. I would say that before the pandemic, probably yes, there were the best times to book, but now everything's a little bit more up in the air. We're seeing airlines put new flights into the sky depending on where they're seeing more interest or more demand from travelers, and they're making sure that they're adding those seats so that people can actually fly to the places they want to get to. So once those flights are there, then we're starting to see them sell those tickets at a really good price. So what I would say is keep an eye on the travel news, and when you see an airline has just launched a new route, that's a good time to go exploring and see whether or not you can get any really good deals on that flight. The other thing to know is that it's going to change over time, but if you keep an eye out and set those price alerts, you can actually get a great deal for a specific flight or a specific route. The other thing to do is just be open with it. If you're flexible in where you want to go and you're a little bit up for being spontaneous, then you can get some really good deals on destinations you might not otherwise have thought about.
What can travelers expect during planning and booking and traveling in 2021?
Yeah, it's going to look different to what it used to. There's no question about that, but it is still going to give you all of the reassurance that you need to be able to travel safely. So travel providers are putting on lots more information. They're ensuring that they're giving you all the advice that you need before you travel. Skyscanner is no different. We have travel advice pages, but it might also mean that you need to make sure that you've got the proper tests in place before you travel somewhere. This is predominantly for overseas travel. So for example, the majority of Europe has just recently announced that they're accepting US travelers now, but those travelers need to be double vaccinated. And all of that information can be found by visiting Skyscanner and looking at our map, where we show you every country in the world and all of the restrictions that are currently in place to visit that country, and then what requirements you need to comply with in order to travel. So just make sure you're informed, make sure that you know where you have to wear a mask and where you don't, and that you're compliant with the policies in place to travel. And that will give you the confidence knowing that you've checked your information, you've got all the right details, and you can get back out there and enjoy the world again.
And what is that website that we can go to for more information?
Sure. It's skyscanner.com. And we also have a great app, which is just called Skyscanner. And you can download that for your Apple iPhone or for Android. And that's where you're going to get access to all those great tools, but also lots of inspiration and travel deals, which can be sent to you via email.
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie Boyle, for joining us today and giving us this excellent information about our vacations. And I want to wish you happy traveling this summer.
You too. Thanks. Safe travels.
Thanks for watching this episode of What's Now. I'm your host, Christine Napier. For more great content, stay tuned. I'll see you next time.